Hello, how did you get here? This may seem like an odd question, but I want you to think about your recent walk before coming here. Do you like the path you have taken? Why or why not? Many places around the world are attempting to do some kind of place making to make place more pedestrian and bicycle friendly. This can range from extending curb space, traffic calming, or road diet. Of course, not every project is successful. I really like this video from About Here, where they deep dive into the details of the waterfront project in Vancouver. Why is it quote unquote boring? When we look at some of the professional way of thinking about walkability or just how do we think about pedestrian in general, there are some existing methods. So we can think of it like a level of service, but for pedestrians, assigning A, B, C, D to the sidewalks, or we can do something like a walk score. But my argument here is simply that we still tend to have this logic of A to B mindset when it comes to transportation. We only care about that pipeline between A and B and ignore any details, any factors along the way. While this might work just fine for car traffic, I believe when it comes to walkability, your experience of walking should somehow be encoded. Okay, so if we say we don't like this A to B mindset, how can we model pedestrian? How can we model walkability, right? This is just to show some of the ways people have done before. The first one, they kind of think of us human like a particle in a fluid. The second one use electric charge. The third one is like a tidal wave. Uh, One more thing to note here is that all these methods are awesome and they have their own use. But when it comes to urban space, I think these are still very rigid and very deterministic. When it comes to the urban space, things tend to be more random. So after some literature review, I have come up with this. So you can think of our urban space as some kind of energy field, which I call the urban potential. And you can think of it like some kind of gravitational potential field. And by just solving this funny looking equation, you get this uh, urban particle psi, which is like a wave function of urban particle, aka us human. So by solving that, you can actually tell somewhat where would that pedestrian would be. And holding that thought about urban potential, since it's all about perception, the higher energy, the more you feel uncomfortable to be that area, maybe that place doesn't have any sidewalks. I deep dive into also how we feel and sense the city with our human body, and by that I mean our eyes, our ear, etc. And after many lit review again, I have able to connect multiple sensory design with the what I call the imageability of our city. And this actually helped us getting closer to having a more complete picture of walkability. Of course, all this is more than just gravitating people to walk somewhere. We have to also think about making sure that a place is safe to be there to begin with, which is why I also work on the safety side of it too. With the same multisensory method, city planners, architect, and engineer can apply it to do anything, even something like streetlight design. And to end this talk, I would like to thank many literature I have read so far, and I don't just mean my research paper. I also meant many urbanism books that I read too. I'm currently reading this book, Killed by Traffic Engineer by Wes Marshall, and I encourage my fellow architect and engineer to read it too. Uh, Many of these book recommendations can bring you closer to things that are close to you because most of your life you spend your time in built environment, whether indoor or outdoor. My name is Prawish. Thank you so much.